Welcome back. We're talking about a safe haven law that has gone into place in Nebraska. I think is way too loosely worded and is having devastating consequences because some parents driving across state line to drop off their kids, sometimes teenagers, that are unruly. And several parents and guardians are citing this as a reason for the drop-off: uncontrollable behavior. Dr. Lisa Boesky, I mean, let's face it, kids and teens are a challenge and can be a very rewarding challenge. We can't just drop them off.
Well, that's exactly right. But I do have to say, Mike, there are some teens, whether it's due to their parenting or due to their genetics, that are harder to manage than others. The answer, as you said, is not to drop them off. And I will say I was in Nebraska last week, and I'll tell you, there are services out there, but clearly there's a disconnect between the parents knowing where to go to access those services. Some places have CHINs, Child in Need of Services. There's community mental health centers. It's just these parents feel like, I don't know where to go, and here's an easy out, and this is absolutely the wrong message for their child and the wrong message for parents.
Exactly. I'm all for getting families help and getting parents help because, yes, teens and kids can be very challenging. But to give up, and as you just put an easy out, I just find that unconscionable. Let's get a call in. Judy in Oklahoma. Judy, what do you feel about this?
Yes, I want to thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah.
First of all. I've been a single parent for all of my son's life. He's going to be 21 in November. Okay, you say challenging. Yeah. Challenging is right. I want to say, that's really what's wrong with the children and teens today because parents are so easy to give up, so quick to let go of their responsibilities. I just want to know what happens to honest parenting and unconditional love. I could never fathom giving up my child.
That's right. It is difficult. And let's, again, to reiterate, thanks for the call. Get these folks some help. Let's get back to Arnie Stuthman, who helped, again, draft this law. Arnie, what was your thought? Who were you thinking of when you guys added the language that included children and not just babies?
Well, we were thinking of the child or the 4 or 5 or 6-year-old that would maybe be hurt in a home. Maybe a babysitter could handle them.
Okay.
And that's what it was.
Yeah, abuse issues here. That's what we're trying to protect.
Yep.
Did you ever think that teenagers would be dropped off? People driving from Michigan to drop off their 13-year-old?
No, never in the world.
Jennifer, where do you come? Jennifer, as we talked in the last segment, I take it you're somewhat for this, and I am as well, to get teens help. But don't you think we need to just really bear down on this law and get some specific language where parents who are having control issues are dropping kids off? That's horrible.
Yes, listen, I'm not saying that a safe haven legislation that we're talking about here is the way to deal with this. That being said, I think the most important point is being missed, that there's a real need out there, and that it has to be addressed. And the fact that it's not being addressed, the resources aren't there to deal with children. Listen, if a teenager is in need, why do we draw the line there? 13-year-olds, 5-year-olds, infants? Listen, if a parent is so distressed and so disturbed that they're willing to abandon their child, isn't this a situation that we should contend with? We don't want them parenting their child in that moment. We want to help them, or we want that child to be parented or taken care of by somebody who is equipped to do so.
Yes, and we also want people coming alongside parents. I think we're dropping the ball there as well. But we could really go on with this one. I want to thank everybody. Arnie Stuthman, Lisa Boesky, Jennifer Bonjean, a great discussion. And I think our hearts are all in the same place. We want parents helped and we want teens in safe situations, but we do not want them dropped off at hospitals.